Hey, good evening. I'm Peter.
And I'm Joy.
And I'm Simon. And I'm Dick.
And we are live for 5.
So tonight we wanted to talk a little bit about why we share our story, particularly when we're not all the way through yet. That is a story, Peter the Bunny. You're right, baby.
Not the story we're talking about.
Not the story we're talking about. Story is our journey through really tough times the last couple of years with our marriage, and me struggling with an addiction for most of my life, and just having a lot of churn and a lot of turmoil. And only a few months removed from that, but we're still totally in the middle of it.
Yeah, and I think a couple common questions we usually get is, well, people ask me, one, how is Peter feeling about you sharing this? And then 2, well, why are you guys sharing this, especially if you're not all the way through it yet? So, to the first question, is Peter okay with you sharing this?
I would say yes, absolutely. I'm not going to unnecessarily share with people who are going to use it to harm our family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, integrity is based on the word integer, which is a whole number. It means one whole number. And integrity is, for me, it means openness, transparency. It's not like I'm partially one thing and partially something else.
Yeah.
Doesn't totally contradict with living in the gray, the one we talked about a few weeks ago. But at the same time, it's definitely there.
Also, I think we've come to a point in our journey where we recognize it's not an identity. It's part of our story, but it's not who we are. It's not who you are. It's not who I am. And we don't need to have shame about having ugly pieces, because we all do.
And I think, too, a lot of times when I feel shame and I have those pieces in my life that I'm hopeful that somebody doesn't ask about or somebody doesn't find out about, that actually helps compound it and helps keep me there.
For sure.
Versus being able to break free by saying, this is me. It's part of my story.
Yeah.
And it's a transformation story. It's ability to move on in my life.
And what we needed in the beginning was people who brought their stuff to light and weren't afraid to say, this is me, this is my story, this is what's happened to me.
Weren't afraid to say me too.
Yeah, weren't afraid to say me too. And it's only in bringing stuff into the light that we can find healing and move forward. And so keeping it in the dark doesn't help. But then as far as the second question goes,
yeah, a lot of times
share if you're not all the way through it?
Well, first of all, I'll respond to that with a question. What is all the way through it? You can be 10 years, 20 years removed from making a bad choice, but at the same time, I know quite a few folks who might have struggled with something in their life, and they just simply replaced that with other things. So maybe it wasn't alcohol or another typical addiction, but they just replaced that with a whole bunch of other things, maybe workaholism or whatever else.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when I find when we're in the moment with it, when we're actually going through it, when we learn something and it's fresh in our minds, that's the most powerful time to share with other people. Hey, these are some things that I just learned that were really big light bulbs for me. And so some mythical track record of, oh, you've been sober for 20 years, so now we can start listening to you. Unfortunately, that a lot of times it doesn't work that way.
I think it's rare to have a story like that, and I don't think that's relatable. This is real life. This is real marriage. This is real recovery. And we're not sharing our story as a way of saying, oh, hey, look what you could hope to have. We're more sharing and saying, me too. And you're not alone. Mm-hmm. We're not sharing to say we have all the answers. We're sharing to say we've been there and we understand. And we'll walk with you. And that's what people want more than anything. They're not looking for a perfect track record of sobriety. They want people to walk with them in genuineness and vulnerability, and me too.
Yeah.
And so I would say those are the biggest reasons why we share our story. It's not perfect, and it's probably going to be a life work. Like you said, I don't think we'll ever get there, but
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of hope and thriving that can happen, and we want to do that with you guys.
All right, so that's our Life for 5 tonight. If you liked it, or if you want us to talk about something else, include that in the comments below.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you all next week. Have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Take your fingers out. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ah, good job.
Good job.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.